Okay, so like I was saying, I just realized that my recording software only records up to 10 minutes. So this will be in probably 3 10-minute segments or so. But anyway, like I was saying, so each of these uh, links here is a class in Java. So it starts with the A's and lexicographically, alphabetically, whatever you want to say. Goes all the way down to punctuation and the Z's, and then punctuation. But anyway, so any class that's over here, we can use and import into our project and actually use. So for instance, one of your assignments is going to require you to import JFrame. I'm sorry, JOptionPane. So I can do Control F to a finder. Notice the finder up here. And if I say J option, I just have to hit OP, and notice now over here to the left, JOptionPane, and that's the class that I want to use. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. I'm going to click on JOptionPane. Now, this is what is imported whenever you import this. What you have to worry about is the last line. And when you import this into your project folder, into your class, okay, it's going to automatically import all of these. Okay, and let me show you what that means. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to Control C, or if you want to do it the hard way, copy. And then I'm going to switch to. That's not what I want to switch to. Here. And I like to put it in between the description and all the comments here, and I'll put it here. Now what I have to do is I have to say import, and notice import turns red, javax.swing.jOptionPane. Now you don't need to understand what this means, just know that this allows us to use, and semicolon, of course, this allows us to use everything in the JOptionPane class from this Java library. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you scroll down, this is showing you how to work some of the JOptionPane stuff. What we're going to be doing is using this class to make pop-ups. So here some constructor stuff, and we'll talk about constructors later. And then these are methods that you can actually run on a JOptionPane object. And I know you guys probably don't know what a JOptionPane object is, but every class you can make an object, or in other words, a variable that holds everything from the class. So I can make an object that is a JOptionPane type that can do anything a JOptionPane class can do. So for instance, in one of your homework examples, is it this one? Yes, it's this one. So it imports JOptionPane. And then we have a little bit of JOptionPane usage here. So they're using the class JOptionPane dot show input dialog, and the show input dialog is coming from here. We go down to the S's. Show input dialog. There are several cases of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 different show input dialogs. Now, if you notice, the difference is the parameters over here. All these are parameters that the types that you pass in to this input dialog. Now, the kind that we're using here is a string, because notice the quotes. What is your name? So, is there an input dialog with a string? No, there's not. But what's happening is we're using this one, because an object type is the first class. Think of it like a Christmas tree. That's the way the Java library is organized. It's like a Christmas tree. At the very top is the object class. It could be anything. all classes that are made in Java are linked back to the object class through inheritance. Okay, like you inherit money from someone, or you inherit something like a personal family heirloom or something. See, notice object right here, Java Lang object. All these are the object class is inherited all the way down to JOption pane. Okay, so JOption pane is part of every single one of these classes, and object would be the first class in all classes. Okay, so that one specifically with the object class variable here. This is the one we'll be using, and what it does is it shows a question message dialog requesting input from the user. So what does that look like? Well, if we go back to our class, we can see. And I'm going to go ahead and comment this out because I don't want the terminal window and the JOption pane to pop up at the same time. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to make a string. Now, notice, string does not turn red. I'm going to say string message. Now, string does not turn red, but it is a type. Just like this. Int is a type, but int happens to be a primitive data type. String is a class that is built in Java. Let me prove it to you. If I go to Control F again, get rid of that, and I say string. Well, that's a lot of strings. Well, over here, go down to the S's. Should be highlighted. String, there we go. Here's the string class. Boom. If I go in here, this is constructors, and these are all the things that strings can do. Any string, any kind of string variable that you make, they can all do these methods, these functions, if you want to call them that. Okay? So we go back to this string message. Now what I'm going to say now is I'll use my message object that I made, my variable. It's equal to JOption pane. That's my class. Dot, and I wanted to use the show input dialog. Remember, I hit backspace and bring this back here. This one here. If you click on it, there it is. Go back. So I say show, and it's got to be exactly like it is here. Oh, I just lost it. Show internal, show, here it is. Show input dialog. Show input dialog. Now whatever I type in here, it's going to be the message that's printed out. So I'll say, I don't know, it doesn't really matter what you say. This is just a message to the user. You don't even have to say anything really. But I want to prove to you that it works. We can say, I don't know. Do you like apples? Why not? Right? Do you like apples? Notice I closed that off here. I did that before I typed my message. And you could just as easily have done this and you can actually backspace all of this to where you have it in one line. String message is equal to JOption pane show input dialog blah 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 blah, and it's perfectly okay with that. It's not going to complain. But I just want to show you guys in two different steps so that we are seeing the process fleshed out a little bit. So now I wonder what's going to happen.